Okay, so you guys wanted to know my must-have ingredient list, the things that I always have on hand. So here we go. My first item is bananas. I always have bananas. I always have a huge stash in my freezer for banana ice cream and for smoothies. I always like to have fresh bananas on hand for just everything for on the go. My son loves to eat them. Dip them in coconut sugar. They're really easy to take with you. Just as a tip, you always want your bananas to have brown spots on them. This isn't a very good example because my son was throwing these around and they got all bruised. But yeah, you want your bananas to have brown spots on them. You don't want them to have any green because that's gonna cause bloating, constipation. So as long as your bananas are ripe and spotty, then you're gonna have good digestion. They're gonna break down really easily for you. I always like to buy my bananas at a discounted cost, so I usually won't buy them at like Walmart when they're green and they're at their full cost. I usually buy them at my local grocery store when they are discounted. When they start to get a little bit spotty, they'll usually mark them down about half price. And so I'll either buy them like that, or when they buy too many bananas, sometimes they'll sell 40-pound boxes of bananas for $5, and that is the best way to buy them because it's so cheap. You can eat as many as you want and then just throw the rest in your freezer. So yeah, I always buy a box of bananas when I can, and then I always have bananas on hand. So always have bananas. My next item is coconut sugar. I always love to have this. I dip my bananas in it, which is kind of a bad habit now because I always want to dip them in coconut sugar because it tastes so good. But yeah, this tastes kind of like brown sugar. It's delicious. It's a better replacement for like white sugars or brown sugar. For any recipes that calls for sugar, I just replace it with this. So this is something I always have on hand. My next item is juice, usually orange juice. Just make sure you're buying 100% juice, no sugar added. I always add this to my smoothies because it makes it taste so much better. You're getting more vitamin C, and mainly it's just a really good base for smoothies because it tastes really good. Just make sure you're buying 100% juice, no sugar added, so you're not worrying about adding refined sugars to your diet. So I always have juice. My next item is frozen fruits. I always have these frozen fruits in my freezer for smoothies. I usually get this at Costco. It's a 6-pound bag for $10. It's mangoes, papaya, strawberries, and pineapple. It's a really good frozen tropical fruit blend to put in your smoothies. Tastes really good. It's just really easy to have on hand, so I always have one of these. Next item is green powder. I always have some kind of green powder to put in my smoothies. I think it just adds a lot more benefits than just adding plain spinach or other kinds of greens in your smoothies. It's really easy. They don't go bad like spinach does. They can pack a lot of nutrients into these things, so that's why I love them so much. This one is my Amazing Grass Green Superfood Powder. I got this on Amazon, and this is my Daily Green Boost. I actually just won this on Instagram, so if you go back and look at my Instagram, you'll find his account, Daily Green Boost. So these are really good to have. I always put these in my smoothies. I like the taste that it adds to my smoothies too, because a lot of times I'm using really like acidic tart things in my smoothies, like pineapple and orange juice, which tastes really good, but they're just a little tart for me. This kind of tones it down, and I really like the flavor that it gives it, so I always have these, always add to my smoothies for amazing benefits, so this is always something that I have. So I always have some kind of almond milk or soy milk, mainly because since I don't drink dairy milk, I just want a replacement, something that I can drink if I'm craving milk. Plus I use it in tons of recipes. Any recipe that calls for milk, I use this, and my son drinks this too, so I always have some kind of almond milk or soy milk. Dates. This is obviously not the container it comes in, but yeah, I've got these Kohlrabi dates. I love to have these on hand because recipes are always calling for dates. Like, I use it to sweeten my smoothies. A lot of like even pasta sauces and stuff you can make call for dates. Almost any like healthy dessert recipe calls for dates. They're really sweet. They have like a caramel flavor. They're really gooey and yummy. My son loves these too, so I'll put these in my diaper bag. Store it in your fridge forever. I buy these from 7hotdates.com. and they're organic. They're from California. The season for these is like the end of summer, so I bought these in August, and I bought a 10-pound box of them, and I just put them into smaller containers in my fridge. And you know, it's January, I still have a bunch left, so yeah, these last me a long time. It's kind of a lot of money up front, but they last forever, and I always want to have them in my fridge. So Kohlrabi dates, dried figs. I always like to have these in my fridge because my son loves them. They're really easy to take with you. I keep them in my diaper bag. They're a really good source of fiber. They're really sweet and tasty, and you know, because of all the fiber, they're going to keep you fuller longer. So these are really delicious. I love having these on hand. Cacao powder. This is something I always like to have on hand for when I'm craving chocolate. It's the most raw form of cocoa. It's a very nutrient-rich superfood, believe it or not. I like to make a cacao banana maca smoothie, and you know, you can use it in tons of different recipes. This I got on Amazon. It's 2 pounds, and it's lasted me a long time so far. So really good chocolate replacement. It's kind of like dark chocolate. It's a little bit bitter, so you want to add something sweet to it, like coconut sugar or vanilla or dates. So I always have this cacao powder on hand. Okay, so as far as salad things go, I always have a box of lettuce with me. This one is half spring mix, half spinach. It's organic, and there's a ton in there. So yeah, this lasts me like at least 2 weeks. It surprisingly, just in this box, stays really fresh. So yeah, I always have this on hand so I can make salads. Next item is avocado. I love avocado. I love having it in my salads because you get that healthy fat. It keeps you fuller longer. It helps you feel more satisfied. I either slice it up in my salads, or I'll make like a really yummy guacamole, and you can almost just use that as a dressing. Just makes it really creamy. It's really delicious. On top of my soup, I love smashing up some avocado and putting it on top of my veggie soup. It's really good. So yeah, I always have avocado in my salads. Next is carrots. I always like to have carrots in my salad. I will usually spiralize them so they're kind of shredded over my salad, or I will cut them up into sticks and dip it in my vegan ranch, and that's delicious. Or I put it in my sushi. I just love having carrots around. I buy like a huge 5-pound bag of it for like $2.99, and I just use them like crazy. And I've actually noticed my skin turning a little bit orange from all the beta carotene in it. But it's kind of nice. It's kind of like a tan. So anyways, carrots are really good for you, good for your eyes, good for your skin. So I always like to have carrots around. Next is cucumber. I almost always have cucumber in my salad because I just really like the texture it gives and the flavor. I'll usually spiralize it as well, and it kind of makes like a cucumber noodle on my salad. That's really good. And my son likes to eat them as a snack, so I'll just slice them up and he'll just eat them by the handful. So I always have cucumber. Next, I always have bell pepper. I love having these on my salads. I think it's just really good, crunchy, they're really tasty. I like putting them in soups, in my veggie sushi. So yeah, I always have bell pepper. Usually when they're on sale, I'll just buy a bunch of them and use them up. Next is cilantro. I love cilantro. I always find uses for it. Like, I'll put it in everything. In my salads, in my dressings, in guacamole and salsa, in soups. I always have cilantro on hand. Short grain brown rice. I use this, like, I make a batch of it like twice a week at least. I love the texture of short grain brown rice. It's just so soft and squishy, and I love the texture of it. After buying this and using it, I don't know if I'll ever eat white rice again because this is so good. This is really cheap too. I got it at Costco. It's like 13 pounds, I think, for like $13. So I love having this short grain brown rice on hand. As far as tools go, this is my spiralizer. I use it probably every day. I'll spiralize cucumber, carrot, zucchini. I see people do beets on top of salad. You can make really cool little noodles. You can make zucchini pasta. I've done it for sweet potatoes, made like curly sweet potato fries. I use this seriously like several times a week, so get a spiralizer. And my blender. I love my blender. It's like my prized possession. So this is my Ninja blender. I use it like at least every day. Sometimes I'll use it up to 3 times a day. I make a smoothie every day. You can make pasta sauces, you can make soups, you can make anything your heart desires. One day I want to get a blend tech, but those are just so expensive. So right now I'm just using this Ninja blender, and it's the best blender I've used so far. So I love it. I seriously use this every single day. So you have to have a good blender. It's a really good start to just be able to do whatever you want. So get a good blender. So I wanted to talk about in the summer, since I don't have those items on hand right now, since it's winter, I will always have at least one of these 4 things on hand at all times. Watermelon, mango, corn on the cob, and asparagus. Those are my like 4 favorite foods of all time. So in the summer, I'll just eat like tons of watermelon. I'll cut it up, put it in my fridge, use it for later, eat it whenever I want. Corn on the cob is really good. I'll eat it grilled, or I'll just eat it raw. It's really good if you get a sweet corn on the cob. Mangoes, I always have mangoes on hand because they are my favorite fruit. So mangoes are so versatile too. You can use them in, you know, sweet things like smoothies and ice cream, or you can use them in more savory things like tacos. I love mangoes. And my last thing is asparagus. I always have asparagus. When it's in season, I buy it like every day. Pan fry it or put it on the grill, and I will just eat an entire bunch of asparagus as lunch. It's so good. So asparagus, corn on the cob, watermelon, and mangoes are my favorite summertime foods, so I will always have those on hand in the summer. So I think that's it for now. So now you know the must-have ingredients that I have on hand at all times. It's kind of a lot, but you know, if you just buy a little bit at a time, they help me get through the day, eating healthy, making good choices. So don't forget to subscribe if you haven't subscribed. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you have any suggestions or comments or questions, leave them in the comments below. So thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.